Hi, Sam. Thank you so much for joining me today. Tell me a little bit about your chess upbringing.
Well, I didn't have much of a chess upbringing. I took my first chess class with the Berkeley Chess School after-school program when I was in 4th grade. I was 9 years old. I didn't play a tournament until I was 11. And growing up in California, that was probably one of the best places in America to grow up, but American chess was really desolate at the time. There's a reason that, only me and Hikaru from that generation really blossomed into top players until the next generation came along with guys like Ray and Jeffrey and Sam Sevian. But growing up in America, there really were very few opportunities, but I'm delighted that has changed a lot recently because it's something I really dedicated my life to, and I wasn't able to do that until I was an adult. I know a lot of people, especially those who grew up in other countries, other continents, were able to do chess full time from the time they were 10 or whatever. That was not me. I mean, I went through the full American K-12 education system, got a university degree, but chess always was what motivated me the most. It was what I was most passionate about. I worked really, really hard, and I'm very proud of how far I've come.
Do you have a book that has influenced you the most as you're growing up?
There have been so many books that have had a positive impact on me. There was certainly all of the Grandmaster preparation series, the repertoire ones with Quality Chess. The first one with Boris Avruk convinced me to start playing d4 when I had played e4 my whole life, and that sort of turned me around in a lot of good ways. But if you made me pick one book that I think had the biggest impact on me, it was Practical Chess Defense, and that was for two reasons. One, because I think it's a really good book, and two, because it inspired me to work with Jakob Bogert, the author, and he's been my coach ever since. And when I won the Sanford Fellowship in, this was 2014, and I had money at my disposal for the first time in my life. I was, 2,600 as an adult. I had made it there that far, but I was sort of stuck, and I needed a coach at that point, and hiring Jakob came, and the rest is history.
And I know he's convinced you, or maybe you two have worked together, and you've become an author as well. You recently have published a new book. Can you tell me a little bit about your career as an author as well?
Yeah, so basically my top priority by far is trying to be the best chess player I can be. And a lot of my peers, 2700 Club, they take one look at me like, why are you writing so many books, creating so much content? And the answer is quite simple, is I write about stuff that I want to improve myself. So for example, my most recent book, Theoretical Rook Endgames, took 3.5 years to write. It's going to be released October 18th. I have some advanced copies here. But it was 3.5 years of studying complex rook endgames. I mean, yeah, I get that maybe putting them into words is not like 100% the most useful use of my time for training, but I learned so much writing this book. And I'm just looking at myself as I have plenty of examples of my own games in this book. When I was 2700, I just missed playing rook endgames, and now hopefully that will happen less often. So every single project I've ever taken on for Quality Chess and for Chessable has been done with the same stated goal in mind, to make me a better chess player. It's for completely selfish reasons, and if the readers want to come along for the ride, they're welcome to. And funnily enough, this model has been extremely successful for the books. Everyone really loves them. I'm just doing my own training and inviting people to join. Yeah,
I've seen a lot of your books. You're also writing, and you've created courses on Chessable. And on Chessable, you're mostly known for your openings courses. Which one would you say is the most important to study, or is it all three parts of the game?
Well, I mean, you can't be a complete chess player without being good at all phases of the game. If I were to make an analogy that I quite like, is if you can run really fast, control the ball really well with your feet, pass really well, shoot really well, dribble really well, steal really well, and you can't stop the ball with your hands to save your life, that's fine, don't be a goalkeeper. In chess, if you're really good at openings, you're well prepared, you've analyzed them deep into the early middle game, you have very good tactical vision for quick little tricks, good positional feel for your pieces, you have good knowledge of technical endgames, but you can't calculate to save your life, you've got a problem. And so I think to sort of isolate one part of chess or some parts of chess as more important than others is just not true. It's not a good idea, and you have to be a complete player capable of playing all phases of the game in order to play at a high level.
When you were young, you've often mentioned on your social media that Garry Kasparov was one of your heroes. Was he the one who's influenced you the most as a world champion?
Yes, of course. Garry Kasparov was my earliest hero. One of the biggest reasons was just that I met him. I mean, for what it's worth, I know this sounds ridiculous when you look at the world today. I never met a grandmaster until I was 15. I never played with one until I was 16. I did not have a quick development, and I did not have opportunities to play with strong players and travel and stuff like that. I mean, I had the opportunity to play with a bunch of 2200s starting very, very young in San Francisco, which I'm extremely grateful for. And I know, at least at the time, that was a lot more than a lot of other people had, especially in this country. But I didn't have an opportunity to like really meet with strong players, and I didn't get how good grandmasters and top grandmasters and super elite world champions could be. And when I got to meet Garry Kasparov for a weekend, along with a bunch of other young American juniors, and he just completely opened my eyes to the level of excellence that chess players can strive for, and it inspired me and laid the foundation for who I am today, and he will always be my biggest hero.
And I'm sure you felt really great when you had the opportunity to win against him. Earlier, a few months ago actually, or maybe a month ago, here in St. Louis in 9LX.
Yeah, so I've played with Kasparov twice. Both games were sort of blowouts. The first one, he completely crushed me. The second game, maybe crushed is the wrong word, but it was a pretty smooth victory on my part. So just playing with him is a huge honor. I mean, Chess 9LX is a lot of fun. It's great, but it's not super serious. It's not rated. It's sort of an exhibition event. So I didn't care so much about the results. Obviously, I was very proud to have beaten him in one of the two games we played, but really just playing with Garry is a tremendous honor because he doesn't play classical chess anymore, and that's just what you can do. But yeah, it was one of the proudest moments of my life when I beat him. I mean, it says a lot that this guy's 60 years old, 18 years retired, and beating him in an exhibition game is one of the proudest moments of my life all the same. That's how good he was.
Okay, and I was wondering about this competition. You have to come back from rapid chess, blitz events that you had to play to classical chess. What did you do specifically to prepare for this event?
Well, I played some longer training games, which hopefully helps. I haven't been able to play much classical events this year. There haven't been that many classical events, and I wasn't invited to very many either, which was tough. But classical chess is certainly what I specialize in the most. It's what I'm best at. I've dedicated my training plan in the last, my entire adult life towards becoming the best classical chess player I can be. And as a result, for the most part, I've lagged behind in rapid and blitz, which I still view as less important overall. It's not been that terrible. I mean, obviously, like in 960 rapid, I made +3 this time. Last time in 960, I made +2, and I made +1 in the rapid section of the St. Louis Rapid and Blitz last year. So, I mean, I can play rapid when I need to, but classical is what I've worked the most at. It's been a really rough year for me in a lot of ways, but I'm feeling motivated and energized, and I'm ready to turn around now.
Well, thank you very much, Sam. Looking forward to reading your book, and good luck in this competition.